Hi guys, I'm Oiti, the founder of Oiti, and I'm going to walk you guys through the product. Like this is like a short opinionated demo of how this works and how you can sort of tweak it to get it to work for your niche. Now, this is going to be done in three phases. The first one, I'm going to show you the core loop of the product, which is the content creation screen, which is where we are at right now. Post that, I'm going to show you how to get a lot more control over the output and sort of bend it to exactly the sort of output style, structure, formatting that you're looking for. And yeah, let's sort of jump in. To start with, Oiti comes preloaded with a bunch of viral LinkedIn templates. If you've used any of these other tools like Taplio or any other product, you might already be familiar with it. But there's one core difference here. Oiti is very low level. So for example, this is something that somebody had written. GTM leader, my STR team isn't performing. But Oiti breaks it down line by line. For example, he says that brief expert response indicating solution framework. So if whatever content you throw at it to create a swipe file is going to break this down at a very low level so that the AI follows exactly the output that you're looking for. Okay. We don't need to deal with this because most people just, let AI choose. It's preloaded with a bunch of buckets, which is like a collection of swipe files. For example, how-tos, personal beliefs, op-eds, building in Publix, resource global, which is what people call lead magnets, lay purpose, news jacking, case studies, experience share, so whatever. So it is preloaded with the stuff. You just pick the type of post that you think you're going to do. For example, let's say we want to do something that's like thought leadership, right? Like maybe like an op-ed or personal belief. So you just do that. And then we come to main angle. So main angle is just the core message of your piece. So what do you want the piece to end on, right? What is the core purpose of the piece? I tend to keep this very short, which is basically like a small snippet of what it is I want the entire piece to be about. And then I quickly add reference material by using either a voice note, text transcript, articles, YouTube transcript, whatever it is, sort of reference material you want to add, you can sort of do that here. And you can also have a one-on-one conversation with the AI, just like being on a podcast interview. It's going to ask you questions and you can choose to sort of reply to them. Now, that's my voice note for now. I'm just going to pick a record. So I think when we talk about AI creating more jobs in commodities trading in marketing or whatnot, I think it's going to create more jobs, not take them. I think AI is going to take away, sort of improve the threshold that was previously possible and it's going to lead to a lot of abundance in creative industries. So let me just dump this in. I'm just going to click save and it's going to process it using a best-in-class transcription model and add that in as context. Let's just give it a second. All right. So now if you go here, you'll see that has been attached as context. So I want to show you one more thing. If you click here, you'll see that this has now been saved in Oiti's memory. What I'm building here is basically creating something that becomes more and more personalized and contextualized with time. So the more stuff you activate, the more personalized it becomes over time. So once you're done, as of now, you can just reuse this. For example, let's say I want to reuse this snippet for another post. I can just do that. And I'm just going to click generate post. There are two modes here. First is auto, by which it creates search queries, searches the internet, and sort of comes up with content, sort of comes up with research facts, figures to sort of fan up your copy. And second is normal, by which it only references your material. Okay. So I've picked auto just to show you guys how this works. And then I click generate post, and this was one of the outputs here. Out of the box, if you look at this, you'll see that all the citations inside have been quoted from PwC, which is obviously pretty authoritative source. And you can just, if you are OCD like me, US Bureau of Labor Statistics, all of this stuff. And if you're a ghostwriter, you've been doing this already, or if you're a thought leadership person, you need to do this. So it sort of does this out of the box. And there are some edit with the options, a bunch more are coming. And it creates three versions for us out of the box. This is version 2 and this is version 3. Now, like I said, it creates three versions for us out of the box. Now, once you connect your LinkedIn account, you can also schedule out your post. For example, let's say I quickly edited this, and then once I'm done, I will just pick version 3 and I'm going to pick a date. And let's say, okay, let's pick a date, pick a time. And if I click schedule post now, it has been scheduled. Now, I just want to show you, if you guys go back to our calendar, you'll see that it's own show up. So this gives you one granular sort of view of scheduling out your content. And we are very, very careful about making sure that your account is 100% safe. So this uses LinkedIn's official APIs, which leads us to some limitations, but yeah, so that's sort of, your account is 100% safe. Now, let's say you're somebody who wants a lot more control over the copy that you want. There are two ways to do this. Now, like I said, the reason this works so well is because it's something called templates, which is like a line-by-line breakdown of everything that's in here. So the way I like to do this is, for example, I would create a bucket, which is nothing but a swipe file. If you're somebody who's a copywriter, you come from that world, you know how this works. The swipe file is basically a collection of posts. So let's call this test swipe file, and I'm just gonna click this. So as you can see, there's nothing here. And then I'm gonna take a LinkedIn post from the internet. So let's just go to the internet. It can be my own post or somebody else's post. We're gonna take this and use it for a template. So let's just take this lead magnet, for example, and then we can dump this in here and just select whichever bucket you want to save it. And let's take add template. So let's let it do this thing. It takes about a while because it's breaking this down line by line. Once it's done, I'll show you how this works and we'll wrap it up. Awesome. So it has now done its thing. If you click on preview, I'll show you something. So this was the post. Now it has broken this down line by line, which makes it very granular for the AI to sort of follow exactly exactly what it is that you wanted to follow. A lot of people use this to keep a collection of swipe files. Let's say you want it to only write in the way you like to write. So you can imagine you can sort of create a bucket wherein that has only your content if you don't want to use Oiti's built-in templates. And all you need to do is when you go to the dashboard, right? Yeah, the swipe file is going to be here. So just click this and immediately it's only going to pick from the swipe files that you have in place. All the templates, LinkedIn posts that you have in place, broken down granular way that I showed you. Finally, the final step is this is the configure out. The people who work for multiple clients or with multiple tone of voices, you can create another workspace for a different client. But once you're in here, right? Once you're in the configure, you can sort of set it up and configure it to write in exactly the way you want. You start with the voice profile. Voice profile generally has a mix of how you want it to write, including voice, format, structure, language, flow. We don't want, this is like good practice of the Ghostwriter. I like to have this, but if you don't want this, just click this button right here and just dump in 3 sample LinkedIn posts that you want it to emulate. So instead of building a swipe file here, this actually analyzes it and creates a detailed 200 word prompt to sort of walk you through exactly what are some patterns that it's seeing. And you can quickly edit it to sort of change this. Let's say somebody who doesn't like emojis, I hate emojis, but yeah, some people tend to like it. You can just add that in here. Secondly, the professional background expertise. I just quickly copy and paste my LinkedIn entire data. When you are onboarded, this will only already be set up for your default. You already scrape your LinkedIn and put them in there. And also your primary target audience and the problems or challenges they typically face. This is to sort of, it is always going to bend the content to sort of fit the niche that you're going. Okay. Once you're done, just click save and we are good to go. So that's at a higher level exactly what Oiti does. There's a lot more features in there. I don't want to bore you guys with that. If you guys have any questions, I am happy to help. Just wanted to report this because a lot more is coming and I wanted to make sure that these features that we've already shipped are not lost. Okay. Just thank you for trying Oiti, and if you need anything, I am always available. Thanks.